Yo, what's up? It's Tommy92L here. I already fucked up on filming this first time, but I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful, gorgeous scene like this. Let me show you something real fast here. This is the scene now, and this was it before I tweaked it. So I'd say, some people say simple is better, and if that's all you want, but the only reason why I really never paid too much attention to most machinimas is I've always found myself decent at color correcting, and that's one thing I realized. Like, there's nothing in this film that stands out, you know. And I'm not saying it because I think I'm decent at it. It's because nobody put any effort into doing it. You know what I mean? This is a preset that literally could be made in 3 minutes. Let me show you how I did it real fast. Sorry, I'm kind of got that condescending asshole personality, but I'm tired right now. I'm drinking orange soda, and I like chocolate. All right, so what we're gonna do, if you're watching this, I really hope you're just a bit experienced with After Effects. If so, I'm probably not the person that should be teaching you. VideoCopilot.net. All right, we're gonna take this. We're gonna add key light to it. Throw that on. Select whatever color sky you want, or whatever portion of the sky you want. See, what I tend to do is pick the area of the sky that represents the overall color scheme. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't pick this very light blue because that only takes up this much. You take this dark blue. Bam, motherfucker. Shit just got real, so I'll slow it down. Alright, that's good, right? Now what you want to do is take an image of a sunset you found. You don't have to do this. It's not even really the cheap way. It just gives you the clouds and whatnot. Like this. And drag it out. So it looks okay. And by the way, don't be freaked out or annoyed or anything if the image kind of penetrates through the original layer and affects, the more solid objects in the film, if you will, like this. Because if anything, it looks better, and I'll tell you why. Because if I had just a pure blue sky, right, you're probably not going to see too much of a detail reflection on here. But when you have such a vibrant background, you kind of want that nice reflection because it gives everything detail. It's not just a nice background and still the pure bullshit blue reflection. Everything gets, that. Okay, so what we're going to do now, sorry if that didn't make sense, but if it didn't, you're dumb. Alright, so what we're going to do now is say Control Y. I say Control Y, bitch. Alright, that. Make it a black solid. Throw it down behind that and make it a ramp. Alright, start the starting color is make it purple. Trust me. Purple I've always found is like a really nice, like soothing color. It's great. Yeah. The end color should be orange. No, yellow. Yellow. Like an early bird morning color, Okay. So throw that on top of the sunset and just change it to screen. Boom. Look at that bit. It's a good thing too. I mean, you can really make it whatever you want. You can make it overlay. But the reason why I found screen works the best is because, well, that's like apocalyptic shit. That's like the sun just masturbated all over the sky. Or wow, that actually looks fantastic. That looks splendid. The reason why I like screen really is because it makes it very subtle. You know the person who did it was not trying too hard. Look at that. I know I'm gonna look back at this now, probably in a year from now, and be like, "Holy shit! I've learned so many new techniques." But from what I can see from my base here, my perspective is that it looks pretty decent. All right. Now what we'll do, you can do one of two things. You can do brightness and contrast on the base layer. Really depends if you want to. Yeah, throw this on. And you can take down the brightness, kinda. And this is what can give you a trick shot of making it look as if you're only focused on the background. And it gives a nice shot. And if you want, you don't have to. As opposed to masking the whole thing out, you can add a fast blur to it. And I'm just going to toggle these on and off. So if you don't like it, that's fine. You know, that's why I'm saying we can just toggle it on and off. See what I'm saying? But it takes up too much of the overall image, so it looks like it's blurred. You know, the sky doesn't pop out enough to show that it's not part of the whole image. Alright, so that looks good. If you want, you can hit Control Y again and make a new solid object that's black. Make it a lens flare. And then change it to screen. And you can put it on top of it. Actually, yeah, you probably should. And just leave it like that. It's really, you really don't need to do anything else. What I do also, you don't have to, is hit T on the layer and toggle the opacity, you know, to keyframe it. And every few seconds, kind of turn it down a bit. You know, have it just jumping to random things like that. And the reason why I say this is because it gives it more of like a realistic flicker effect. There we go. Alright, so you're probably saying we're done here, but we're not. So hold your fucking horses. Sorry for cursing so much. Alright, there we go. So I like that. If you want, you can add an atmospheric image on top. Preferably below the lens flare, so it looks like it's penetrating it. No pun intended. There you go. Change it, as I've said before, you can change all these things to screen because it makes it lighter, nicer, better. If you do want to add fog and you like that morning look, I'll run through this real fast. Just hit Control Y, make a new solid, type in noise, and it'll come up as fractal noise. Alright, so you got fractal noise. You crush it like this. Stretch it out real far. Alright. Add a fast blur to it. Like that. Then you double click this. Oop, did it get it? I hope so. Yeah. And feather the shit out of it. Clearly, you can mess around with more of the complexity and whatnot. What I would do, something like this. See, you can just add that nice mist to it. And I'd be happy with that. Actually, I think it, I'm not going to say it looks better, but I think it will pass. So here's kind of, you know, the only thing is this one's just more concentrated in one area. Alright, to top it off, color correcting is pretty good in most films. I actually don't like a lot of machinimas today. I'm not gonna say because they don't color correct, because you know it's true. A lot of them nowadays, even if they don't color correct, you gotta give them credit where it's due. The plots are a lot better than what they used to be, but it's also because they don't color correct, and I don't like it. Not because I think I'm pretty good at it. Keep saying I just don't like it because it doesn't separate them from the rest. You want something to pop a bit. Yeah, to give it like a Shazam. So what we're going to do is do right click, new, adjustment layer. You can add anything you want. I don't care how you plan on color correcting. But what I do, always done, well now, is I use Magic Bullet Looks. And since I'm not going to really come up with my own color correction technique right now, I'll just use one of my ones that I've always had. I name them really weird shit. There we go. I'm going to keep this, only because I like that kind of shot out look a bit, and the blurriness covers up all my flaws. Last things first, last thing I'm going to do is hit Control Y, make a new black solid, and stretch it down to, oh fuck, hold on. Shit just got real, guys. Hold on. There we go. Stretch it down to about here. Solo the layer. And make sure you have this white backdrop. Okay, now hold shift and move it down. Make sure you do that. Don't trust yourself. Solo it and hit that, because when it's black, you can't see the background and can't separate it. Don't just judge by this, because if you can see any of those like holes peeking through, that means it's gonna look like shit when you're done. Hit Control D on the layer, hold shift, move it up. There you go. Unsolo them, and there you have it. A gorgeous, gorgeous. What do you call it? I don't know, just something different. It doesn't look like everything else. Can't conform to all that shit. You know what I mean? Everything I see looks the same, and I get sick of it. You know, just let me throw it at you this way, right? My version, everybody else's version. My version, everybody else's version. And you know what's so cool about it is it really doesn't take a lot of talent to follow through and carry out and execute these steps. Don't get me wrong, it probably will take a bit of talent and more or less creativity to come up with your own look. If you copy off me, I don't care. You don't need to give me credit. It's Halo Machinima. It's film. You're supposed to have fun with it. You're supposed to learn off of other people, and people aren't supposed to be attention whores for their own whatever fucking editing techniques. Whatever the case may be, I actually encourage things to look different because I love watching machinimas that are different. If it's not color corrected, I know this sounds like an asshole thing to say. It is hard to keep my interest. I know that sounds very close-minded and whatnot, but when you've seen one Reach Machinima with that bland color, you've seen them all, and let's be real, it's Halo. It's really hard to get it attached to a plot in Halo. It's a fucking game. So unless you're going to add some nice, vivid, scenic attributes, don't send it to me. Fuck off.